Hello and welcome to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. It's Friday, January 8th, 2021. We are officially on the road to 100,000. Do you guys feel it yet? Have you been trying to short the tops? Hope not. To discuss all of this, hope to discuss all of this and more with two of our analysts. First, we got Alex here. Alex, how are you doing today?
I'm good, thanks.
Well,
TGIF?
Indeed, TGIF.
Oh yeah, thank God it's Friday and we're in Bitcoin.
Like, honestly, with these markets being 24/7, it's like Friday's not really Friday. There's no break.
Thank God it's break time. That doesn't exist.
Yeah, these markets don't wait for no man or woman.
Or bot.
Yes, or bot. These markets wait for no bot.
Yep, an unprecedented rally just seems to continue. No end in sight to this one, hence why I'm beginning to describe this as the road to 100K. But I guess we'll take a look at the charts in a little bit and plot out maybe the next few days. But if this march keeps going, man, 100K is certainly not unreasonable to expect.
I mean, if we keep scaling $6,000 a day, like.
Yeah, at this rate, we should be at 1 million by the end of the year, right?
If this keeps up. But that's very not likely.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to reference the Bitcoin time traveler and take notes. But with that said, guys, let's take a quick look at crypto bubbles. It seems like there's been a day of profit taking in the alt space, although I guess this can coincide generally with Bitcoin continuing a breakout. I mean, do you really want to be well, maybe you do want to be holding alts when there's gains like this to be had. HBAR up 45%, Q&T. I haven't seen quant on crypto bubbles in a while. 50% up quant, band up 18%. I think we were talking a bit about band yesterday, the day before, haven't we?
No bet.
ENJ up 25%, SOL,
yep, we're in that one.
Solana. Oh, yeah? Okay. I might have to get you guys to kind of talk about some of the group trades, but then I see a red. I see a lot of profit taking across the board. It seems a bit of a sell-off. Nano, which was I think a big gainer that we talked about yesterday.
Yeah,
Nano's down 22%, so a bit of pullback.
I think Band is in the middle of its breakout. I was looking at Band before the show started. Band looks really good. It looks good for continuation too. It just retested resistance to support.
All right, Band doing things, certainly something to explore in today's show. Let's see here, what do we have on the news front today? So I saw a big announcement today. Alex posted this to the News Pulse channel in the Discord, and it has to do with Flare, that token that was airdropping on XRP. It caused quite a bit of hype concerning XRP, and a lot of people I think wanted to pile into XRP. I think that big rally we saw late 2020 was due in part to trying to get FOMO in on like XRP in order to earn your Flare airdrop tokens. Now apparently there's an announcement from Flare. Flare will be integrating Litecoin ahead of the Flare network launching Q2. This will allow Litecoin to be used trustlessly on Flare with Ethereum style smart contracts. That gives Litecoin interoperability with Litecoin just interoperability. Okay, so with that,
I agree with what you said earlier on. I'm surprised that hasn't affected Litecoin's price at all.
Right, Litecoin is kind of
it's been doing really well,
following the general market trend, I think. But yeah, I'm surprised it didn't get like a huge breakup. But maybe more details. Alex, do you know anything about this? I haven't really researched this yet, but do you know anything about this? Is there plans how they're going to port over the existing Flare tokens, which I thought exist on XRP?
I don't know. When I posted the article in News Plus Premium, I did not know we would be discussing it on the show, so I'm not prepared.
Yeah, this story just kind of is developing, so we'll certainly have to check this.
We'll get it more later. It's interesting. I think a lot of people have been talking about Litecoin being the silver to Bitcoin's gold. I think we could see that narrative play out. I don't know that it's true, but it's a narrative that gets talked about, and it's the one that the market seems to like. I think Litecoin Bitcoin looks pretty bottomed where it is. I think another thing that I think is that if we do end up seeing Bitcoin turn over at all, there's a lot of people who have a lot of almost everybody who bought Bitcoin, anybody who bought Bitcoin below 20,000, below 30,000, they're all in profit. there's a lot of profits that I think people will look to roll over into alts if Bitcoin starts going sideways, if Bitcoin at all pauses on its journey upwards. So
yeah, the very weak hands will begin moving, and I believe that'll cause a domino effect.
well, it's not even necessarily just weak hands, but anybody who has
Profit
profits,
taking.
if Bitcoin pauses, you got to think like, oh well, Bitcoin's pausing here. It makes sense to take profits on my massively profitable position, and then maybe roll them over into something else that's at a low. And compared to Bitcoin, all the alts are at their low still.
Yep, the very definition of alt season, but eventually those gains will too be cashed out back into the king crypto itself, Bitcoin. But let's just hop into the next story really quick here. Another story we will potentially get into later in the show. One Redditor goes viral after discovering the lost keys to a $4.3 million Bitcoin fortune. Did you guys hear about this? This is kind of what we were talking about yesterday on the show. Remember we were talking about the
people are finding them.
Yeah, the treasure hunters, the guys that will go to great lengths to dig up those old coins that they kind of forgot about, especially once they become
I didn't hear about the story though.
This one's kind of cool. This guy went viral on Reddit overnight. So this is a multi-million-dollar tale of lost and found Bitcoin that shot to the front page of the Bitcoin subreddit. A new Reddit user named their account Bitcoin Holder Thank You says he or she just found the keys to 127 Bitcoin. The user obtained the Bitcoin back in 2011 or 2012, back when you could earn the crypto just by filling out surveys and watching videos online and completing other tasks. The user, who was an avid player of the game called Dark Orbit, planned to exchange Bitcoin for an in-game currency called Iridium, but the player never actually made the exchange. Now you cut to 2021 when the gamer was at their grandfather's house where they used to play Dark Orbit. He says in his Reddit post, I used to play Dark Orbit mainly at my grandfather's house when I was there for around a week during the holidays. While I was there, I was going through his old Dell computer that I used to play the game on, and I came across a text folder that was labeled keys. The working keys to all 127 Bitcoin were in the file, says the user, who promptly exchanged them for cash at a price of $34,000 per coin for a whopping $4.3 million. He says, it literally took me 2 hours to write this because I've been constantly bawling my eyes out while typing this. He made a Reddit account just to share his story with you all. Or I made a Reddit account just to share the story with you all. Thank you all for the believers of Bitcoin who made this possible. Hold on for dear life, he says as he dumps his entire bag at the highs. All right.
Yeah. If this happens to you, I would say the first thing that you do is get an accountant and get a lawyer.
Yeah, for sure. If you stumble into $4.5 million, you need to take care of yourself.
Indeed, definitely.
That's hilarious that his dad's old his grandpa's old Dell computer worked still from that long ago.
Good thing Grandpa didn't take it into Geek Squad to have, something basic maintenance done on it, and the guy there would have oh, what's this keys not text on the desktop? Yeah, you got lucky, right?
Not your keys, not your coins.
Yeah, yep. So yeah, a great story. Congrats to this player of Dark Orbit from back in the day.
So that must be the. Wait, was there a dump at? Oh, that's all. Never mind. It's only 130.
I can imagine. You wake. You're just clicking around Grandpa's computer and you realize there's $4 million worth of Bitcoin staring at you in the face. I probably would have been crying too.
Yeah, I wouldn't have believed it was real.
All right, one other story I kind of want to cover, and of course this is what you kind of expect with the wild volatility we have. I'm actually surprised the daily candle yesterday closed in the green, but it's this one here. Around 1.5 billion in both long and short positions were liquidated in the past 24 hours. The largest single order liquidation was worth a whopping $20 million. So
that was a single order?
One single order liquidated.
What the hell are you doing? If you have that much money, why are you even... I don't get... you had to have been leveraged. I just don't understand.
Hella leveraged, but, dude, we've been talking about it yesterday. There's just so much,
you give me $20 million and you see how I work it.
It's like you think with only 10, 15% wicks, people wouldn't get themselves in this kind of trouble. You'd think, it's like those 30% days that would really wipe out people. But no, it seems even basic volatility like this is getting people into a lot of trouble.
Well, yesterday wasn't basic volatility. I mean, we were ripping.
Yeah, I suppose
Yeah.
we were, but
You know, if every day had volatility like yesterday, well, then you just go out in the markets and be like, I'm
Short.
gonna find a nice direction, choose it, and make some money off of it. But it's not always like that.
all right,
Yeah.
so let's dive into the live chat real quick. Shout out a few of our friends, and we'll get into the analysis. It is Friday. It's a good day to, I guess, lean back, toast to a wonderful, first week of the year. I guess depending where you are, but for most of us here in crypto land, holders and Bitcoin enthusiasts, it's been a good week. It seems like the rally has not ceased, and yeah, what more can be said? Here we go. Ron Legato, first one in the chat today. Shout out to Ron Legato. We got Vidushin here saying hello, Team CC. Nice to see you, V. Crypto Bull's in here saying all right, all right. Shout outs to Crypto Bull. He is our new timestamper. He's doing a great job lately. And he gets the timestamps out like pretty quickly after the show, which is really good because I know there's a lot of people who watch the show or tune in a little late. And if you come in on the tail end of the show, you probably are like, all right, where do I rewind in order to find the XLM or the GRT
the coin
analysis?
I want to see.
Indeed, we really need those timestamps. So thank you to Crypto Bull for doing the timestamps diligently and quickly, and it does help a lot to our audience. Peckham08 is in here. Can we clarify something? Wi-Fi is a limited supply, right? So Wi-Fi only has 50K. No chance we can earn 21,000 coins. Surely I'm delusional. All right, we might have to explore the Wi-Fi deal with Peckham a little later. Marco, lovely Bitcoin market on spot trades. Happy again to be here. Thank you for the insights. Yes, Marco, it's always nice to have you back in the chat. I'm sure our analysts are more than happy to share their insights with our audience. Stun Gun, good day all. Nikolai Sotev in here. Mr. Ether is obviously in here. Always Mr. Ether can be counted on. Is everyone a little wealthier today? I think we certainly are. Mr. Ether, are you closer to retirement today, my friend? Nikolai Sotev, 50% on HBAR. Yes, indeed. Borg's channel is in here. Ron Legato mentioned Longbeard, says good morning. Jordan Stotts says he doesn't have any idea, he doesn't have a clue what he's doing, but he's making money. So, yes, this is definitely a no-brainer.
Signs of a top? Who knows?
Yes, that's euphoria,
Don't say
man.
it,
When it gets easy, that's when you need to take notes. Like,
Call me when you
okay,
hit 100K.
what's happening right
This
here?
is Bitcoin.
Midwest, of course, Midwest is in here. Rick G.
Yep.
Wait, I am short now. Okay, he says, wait, don't let the bulls run away any further. He's short now. All right.
I mean, I think Bitcoin looks ripe for at least an intraday short.
Yeah, it's toppy for sure here.
No, these guys, don't fall into any shorts yet. Let the analysts explain exactly what they mean by the intraday short, but indeed it does look a little toppy. Rick G, non-discriminatory. Alice Kim and Richard King the Third. Okay, nice to see you, fellow royalty. Subtext is in here. Nice to see you again, Subtext. Ibrahim Muhammad's in here. We've got a Rick G and quite a few new faces in here. Robin Waldegol. And that's it. And B-Flow. So shout outs to B-Flow, another super regular in the chat. Requests are already coming through the door. Very nice. That's right. So one final part of the intro here. We've got a 2-hour show ahead of us. In the first hour, of course, it's going to be Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then we'll kind of dive into alts. May touch on Forex and commodity markets. I know we should probably take a look at Dixie. By hour 2, we will be get into those chart requests and the questions and the AMA portion of the show. And then we'll probably maybe round it out back to the news, maybe look a little more at that Flare token news before we wrap it up. And then we'll be calling it a week. This will be the Friday episode, the final installment in Breaking Bitcoin for this week. So get your requests in there. We will certainly be covering them in a little bit. All right. Got everybody shouted out. I see a few more hellos and good mornings, including S. Hyatt, Don Dukacek. Joanna Love the Show says they're running late. No, you made it here just in time. And all right, that's it. Let me scene over here. Here we go. Put on a little music. Let Alex take it away. Alex, I've got you on screen. You do your thing.
Okay. You're listening to the dulcet sounds of Bitcoin radio. No.
You got a voice for radio.
Thank you. I got a face for radio too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So I think, as you guys can see here, Bitcoin is looking really toppy in this location. Right now, we don't have any daily sell signals or anything like that. This is just a low time frame reversal at this point. But this level that you see right here is one of the Fibonacci retracement resistance levels that we've been watching for. Hold on, let me zoom out here.
Yeah, back that out to the daily. Oh, pitchfork.
Yep. As you can see, our trend-based fib extension is set from bottom, top to bottom. And this sets us with this particular retracement level that we've been looking at for about 2 weeks now. So this, I did not move this line. This line has been sitting here on my chart. I showed it to you guys yesterday. As you can see, we're getting some resistance here at this line, and I do think we're going to get at least a pullback towards maybe another retest of 39 over here. We could even pull all the way back to the point of control over at 38,657 here. So why would I be looking for pullbacks on Bitcoin at all? I mean, sure, we got a pullback here, but it was immediately, if you tried to short that, you got slapped in the face right here. Well, the reason why I would be considering looking for longs or for shorts on Bitcoin is because the Dixie is reversing. What have we been talking about for months now? When the Dixie reverses, it's going to be rough news for Bitcoin, right? And here we are on lower time frames. Let me show you guys. So we break out of the downtrend right here. We break back up into this trading range, retest resistance as support, and now we're taking off again. This is making new highs. This is a break in the previous structure here of the Dixie. And another thing that I want you guys to note is that, and let me pull this up, but the majority of the market is net short the dollar right now. Let me pull up this chart for you. 1 second.
It's also important to know that it's not just a break of the trend. There's evidence of support holding above trend. Like now it's just a legitimate break, it seems.
As you can see, this is net USD positioning. So are people long or short the dollar? Everybody and their mother's hedge fund manager is short the dollar right now. It was a good trade for months and months, right? Maybe not so any longer. And if this continues, bye-bye Bitcoin. Okay, because if you guys remember, as I've been saying, the dollar is the major trading pair against Bitcoin. We trade Bitcoin USD, right? And when the pair that trades against Bitcoin goes up, then that pushes down against Bitcoin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this right here on lower time frames just started last day and a half, 2 days, is why I would start looking to see if Bitcoin's ready to pull back. Here we are on Bitcoin.
Lower time frames beginning to break
lower time frames also. I was just the last day and a half. You know, here we get some resistance. We get resistance here. And here on lower time frames, we're starting to print this bearish divergence. Obviously, we got a cross under. This is not completed yet. It's another thing for us to keep our eyes on. Ethereum here looks actually pretty rough. Yeah. This basically already has the cross under. We'll get it in an hour and a half. This looks like a really nice intraday short on Ethereum. As you can see, at the end of today, we'll be getting a take profit signal on the daily. And for 2 days, or yesterday, we posted in candlestick charting. This is in Japanese candlestick charting. This is called a DOGE. It's kind of a spinning top shape. This shows indecision in the market. For an entire day, big bears and bulls, just sort of like it came out even. It's like no one really. It's like it's even. And then today we have this reversal signal and a sell signal. Leads me to believe we could at least get, a short-term pullback in Ethereum, which would make sense if we're also maybe getting a pullback in Bitcoin because the dollar is rising. So, and the dollar is still rising, like as we're talking, this thing's pumping. So this is something that we're going to need to keep our eyes on going forward, because this could really take the air out of the sails of the market. As you can see, alts are all down today. For now, this is technically still all profit taking. So you can see Uniswap coins, we're here at our marked resistance level. We're here at our marked resistance level. A little bit of a pullback here on Uniswap coins is to be expected anyway. My hope is that if we get a pullback on Bitcoin here, that will lead to an explosion in the alts. The alts do seem to be really set up to continue here. Like, let's take a look at DeFi and Perp here. So if we pull back here, we can easily just retest this area, previously resistance. And here we are trapped underneath this area. Break above it, retest this area as support before continuing onwards. Same with privacy perp. As you can see, we've made new highs. We can easily come back down and retest this area. And perp as well. We're over the swing highs of September. We've made new highs, but a pullback could still be healthy. So I don't want to be super bearish, simply because the market has proven me wrong enough times over the past few months when I have gotten very bearish. I certainly missed out on a good portion of Bitcoin's run up to where it is. But that being said, you can't help but look at the Dixie, which has had a multi-month downtrend break here. As you can see, at the end of this week, which by the way ends in 5 hours, we'll have a buy signal for the Dixie. Darn it.
I still love every time that happens.
And so here we are recovering back over weekly support. Where's the support level? Shown right here. As you see, we come up, bounce right off of this. So this I think should be something to give you pause, and that gives me pause. To me, this is not necessarily an exit the market scenario, but I've had a really great week on alts. It's probably time to take profit. I've just been keeping my hands off them, letting them run. But, for some of the Uniswap alts, they're up like 100% or so. They're small positions because, it sucks to be down 50% on your position too when you're in Uniswap. A lot of these coins, they've had really big gains this week, and a pullback could even be healthy. So let's take a look. XRP, as we know, we kind of pumped off the bottom here for XRP. I imagine we'll do that again here. I would really like to take XRP back up into this area on the Bitcoin pairing. And then we'll see what happens. As far as XRP on the USDT pairing, I think 40 cents is a good place to, like, if you're stuck in XRP and trapped and trying to find a place out to get out, I would look there. This court case is not going to be over anytime soon, most likely. And Coinbase is delisting them on the 19th. Mm-hmm. So there's still time to do stuff here with XRP, and I think other people who have been playing around with it realize that too. What goes down must come up, what goes up must come down. So I do not expect all down on XRP. There could be some very viable trades in here. We're starting to get a PTP long signal here on the daily on XRP, believe it or not. At the end of today, we'll have a long signal. I'll probably take it. I'll put that on our watch list. I mean, Binance isn't delisting XRP. They didn't announce anything like that, so there's still places to do stuff with it. I was talking earlier about Litecoin being in a good spot. And I really love the amount of volume that's come in on Litecoin over the past few weeks. I think we're just going to get a retest of the lows here on Litecoin, Bitcoin, and then I think we might see Litecoin diverge from Bitcoin in this spot. So let's look at Litecoin USDT. So you can see we're in a similar situation to Bitcoin and Ethereum, but it looks a little stronger here. It's stronger than Ethereum. Let's look at. So Litecoin is looking stronger than Ethereum in this spot. Okay. And then Bitcoin versus Litecoin USDT. Hold on. A little weaker than Bitcoin, but I think that's to be expected. I mean, we do see that the Bitcoin pairing has been retracing here. I think the comparison to make for Litecoin is against the other alts, most likely. ADA, this feels more like a retest of the lows here. I would try and buy it back down near 625 sats. Although I do got to say, here on the 15-minute chart, ADA already looks like it could be turning around. But yeah, essentially, I expect ADA to continue here. We've broken the downtrend. We've retested the SPY zone several times. One more retest is healthy. Actually, this is looking a little bit like a descending broadening wedge. Kind of too many lines on my chart, but I think you guys can see there's just a lot of signs here that ADA is slowly pumping up, and once it makes it over this resistance level, I expect ADA to just make some real heavy gains right here. For now, though, the USDT pairing is telling us there's just not time. Hopefully we get this pullback all the way down to like 25 cents on ADA USDT. And then I think that'll probably be a good location to try and pick it up from. This level is it's this level right here. Why don't we take a look at some alt requests?
All right, let's do it. Let's cover a couple questions we have lined up here first.
All right.
Here's one from Borg's channel. Question from a friend of mine. XRP, if it's determined to be security, what will happen? Obviously, they pay a fine and all that, but would XRP potentially be listed on a traditional exchange?
I'll tell you the truth, which is that I have no earthly idea what will happen. First of all, I'm not a lawyer. Second of all, I don't think anybody knows because it's unprecedented. There's never been a blockchain. Well, Kin got accused of unregistered securities. They just settled with the SEC. EOS got accused of unregistered securities. They only settled with the SEC. So most likely, based solely on only 2 instances, most likely they'll get a slap on the wrist fine, and then they'll have to either pay back somehow their investors or something like that. But like I said, this is pure and utter base speculation. I really don't know. It does seem unlikely that regular exchanges will then list XRP as a security. Most likely then, once they settle, XRP can be relisted on exchanges as it was previously. But until like stockbrokers and stuff start having, regular cryptocurrencies and stuff like that, I don't see them then suddenly taking on XRP.
Yeah. It just opens up a whole nother can of worms.
Well, I mean, there already are cryptocurrencies they could be offering that aren't securities if they wanted to, and they're not doing that. So I can only assume they're not doing it because they don't want to, and not because of some unregistered security regulatory uncertainty surrounding them. So
yeah, personally, I'm not too sure either way myself, but I have heard that bandied about as a potential theory as to where how XRP is going to take over the world. I have heard that, yes, once they get the security issue out of the way, we will potentially see XRP tokens themselves.
I heard there was no securities issue. That's what the XRP army told me.
Right. But yeah, that's one thing I've heard. I don't know if there's any truth to this idea that it's going to somehow end up being a token listed on mainstream exchanges. I would have to look a little further into it. I mean, personally, you know, I'm not going to write XRP off just yet. It was a top 3 crypto for a while. It's due its respect. You know, I know it's a polarizing coin in this space. People either love it or hate it. I think we can all learn to play along, and I do think that XRP is due. You know, it was number 3 behind Bitcoin and Ethereum for the longest time. It says something. It carries a lot of weight and respect, whether you like it or not. And I don't think the sun has set on Bitcoin quite yet, or Bitcoin, but XRP. So we'll keep an eye on it, and maybe we'll do a little research for another show so that we can get a more well-informed answer to this question concerning the security future. Will it end up listing on a mainstream exchange, so on and so forth? But that remains to be seen. Let's take a look at the next question. I think we kind of covered this earlier in Alex's analysis. Ibrahim Muhammad asks, is BTC looking bearish today? Intraday at least, yes. Looks like...
Beginning to. I mean, and that's something that's important to go back on what Alex went over, because it's not just that the Dixie's rising. It's not just, he's putting a bunch of different things together, and these things are all starting to coincide, especially going into the weekend. We're coming up and hitting a fib level that we've been looking at for the past week. We're seeing the Dixie start to go up, and now on lower time frames, we're starting to get below the baseline. So all of these things are adding up that there is a possibility that we turn here.
Exactly. So Bitcoin is not bearish yet. I mean, I showed you guys Bitcoin on the daily. We took a continuation long signal yesterday. I mean, all you can do is follow your system, but that doesn't mean that we can't look for hints and signs of what may be to come in other charts, because the markets are all interconnected. And once you realize that, you can say, well, I think I may know what happened to this chart based on a chart like way over on the other side of the markets.
So yeah, I mean, I just wanted to point out that there's a lot of different things that go into this. It's not just one thing. Oh, we're below the baseline, now we're bearish. I mean, because if you look at the 4-hour, technically we're still above the parabolic trend. But once this breaks, that we're just kind of looking for the moment on which this breaks so we can be ready. And all of the evidence is starting to point that we are beginning to look weak here.
Yeah, and this is the 4-hour parabolic trend that he's talking about.
Yep.
As you can see, this is the weekly trend, then this is the daily trend, this is the even more parabolic 4-hour trend. So
yeah, we haven't even broke that yet.
As you can see, the trends keep becoming more
parabolic.
Yeah, that's a parabolic trend. See, regular trend, stronger trend, even stronger trend, even stronger trend.
Yeah, if we get a stronger trend out of this, it's going to be elevator up.
Yeah, and that's the thing about parabolic trends, is that you have to hold them, otherwise you retrace them. You have to keep accelerating to hold a parabolic trend.
Well, seems like
so. It would be awesome if Bitcoin kept accelerating and put in a 10K day tomorrow. Sweet, but it may not do that.
Yeah, and it's important to look for the signs that it is turning, because you always want to get out when it's an optimum time. And your systems are great, but if anything you can do to make them even better, say like something that you notice that you like, okay, historically this is a take profit, I'm going to take profit. There's no shame in doing that. Like, even if it does continue.
Indeed.
And I expect we will trade sideways up here for quite a while. This right here, if
between those two levels,
back down, right here. I expect this will be our trading range if we do break down from here. You can see there's two very nice trading ranges that are starting to become established on our VPVR, right up in here, right down here. We'll see. Let's go ahead back to the comments.
Yep, for sure. Here's one from AM. He says, "Good morning, guys. Appreciate the stream. When y'all get a chance, can we take a look at the Dixie daily approaching 21 EMA on the divergence? I know we covered the Dixie very early already, but just wanted to point out that yes, he sees a divergence on the 21 EMA. I do hope that Alex's earlier Dixie analysis a few minutes ago did clear up any questions. But yes, good morning to AM. Thank you for joining us. Let's see here. We got another quick question here. This one comes from BFlow. Could there be a scenario where dollars keep going up and the Bitcoin goes up with it? Many people are getting out of their fiat or gold or some other major.
It can happen. It is just less likely to happen when the dollar is rising. Bitcoin can rise against the dollar. It's just it's like being on a treadmill. It has to run even faster to make any gains against the dollar.
There'd have to be more money going into Bitcoin at the same time, a lot of money going into the Dixie. So a lot of money would have to show up.
Yeah,
indeed.
But it's not impossible.
Indeed, definitely not possible. But I think Alex described it as a headwind yesterday for Bitcoin, and that's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
As a trader, you're always looking for anything you can to give you some kind of insight into where we're going.
Yeah. Headwind, a treadmill is another good analogy. You know, I mean, you're walking, but you end up standing in place because the thing underneath you is moving in the opposite direction.
All right, we got a $10 super chat that came in from Stun Gun. Shout outs to Stun Gun. Let me just put this in on the window here. Here we go. All right, very nice. So here's a $10 super chat from Stun Gun, and it reads, "I've been digging into Dash today, and I'm curious on the team's thoughts. I know Dash is slated to be delisted from Bittrex on the 15th, along with 3 other privacy coins. While Dash team is trying to say that they aren't really a privacy coin, it should not be delisted, I am looking at trying to get an entry down around the $70 support range if we revisit it. Or if it doesn't revisit and it breaks the local downward trend line from November 20th or the overhead resistance of around $114, I'll enter then. Any thoughts on the chart or the project or privacy coins in general?" Asked Sungun. So thank you to $10 Sungun super chat. Let's pull up the Dash chart and then we'll do the little technicals and then we'll try to discuss some of the fundamentals he's inquiring about.
Well, with the weekly, I can say that I did take a USDT Dash trade last night.
To the downside?
Nope, to the upside. I think
Dash looks pretty rough here. Essentially, we make an assault on this resistance a couple times. We break down, and then we kind of wick back upwards to this area, and we're closing the week down. I would consider this to be fairly bearish. You can see this wick. We sort of wick back up to the volume that's up here one last time, and then break back down. I do think we'll come back down at least towards the point of control that's around here at $71. I worry though that after retesting the liquidity of the highs, we'll come back down actually and retest the lows here. So if we do break down here, I would maybe layer my buys if you want in here. So like, you know, have your buys set. So, you know, maybe half your position at 70, 71. Like you were planning on, and then don't neglect and then don't neglect maybe $50, $41. You can see them here on VPVR. These are areas that there's people like to set their bags down here. Yeah, I mean, you can see this is just like a big long-term trading range, and we're just going to come back down, retest the bottom of the trading range, and then probably eventually Dash will make new highs like these things tend to. Let's look at the Bitcoin pairing real quick.
Pretty sure the Bitcoin pairing looks weak.
Yeah. Well, this is definitely not necessarily the opportunity to buy Dash on the Bitcoin pairing.
Or is it the most opportune time you've ever seen?
Well, it is the most there has ever been at this point.
Yeah, it's the lowest it's ever been, I think.
I'm something of a reversal expert myself.
This is a distribution area, guys. If you ever need to know what a distribution area looks like, please ignore these things though. Okay. So yeah, I think there will be opportunity on Dash. So yeah, just make plans accordingly. Okay. What's next?
Indeed. I'm going to answer the other half of this question. It has to do with the fundamentals of Dash. So he's saying, any thoughts on the project or privacy coins? Yeah, I think that privacy coins, as noble and novel as the idea of privacy coins are, I just don't know if they're going to fit in with the regulatory structure that's coming, right? This is something I've been saying for a long time. I know there's a lot of people who enter the space and they're like, whoa, these privacy coins are no-brainers. These are the ones you want. The future is going to be in these. Yeah, that might seem like that on the surface. I just don't know how they're going to get along with regulators. And something like Bitcoin being highly, the books being open, highly traceable, you can follow everything. Everything's very transparent. Regulators might get on board with that. The privacy stuff, not so much. We've already seen privacy coins get delisted across the industry. I know Dash is making an argument right now that they're not really a true privacy coin. It's still a problematic area for them. Solid Tech, I think it's a good project.
Do you know why they're being delisted?
Privacy aspects.
They consider it a privacy coin. Bittrex.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yep, basically comes down to privacy.
Interestingly, Monero just created a wrapped Monero for the ERC20 system, and I was reading this news article that was saying that this helps people who own Monero satisfy their KYC AML requirements. I think that's pretty smart of the Monero group. So that way, they sort of have the privacy side of Monero as is. And then for those people who just want to own it as an investment, not have to deal with the government being like, hey, why are you trying to hide stuff from us? They have the, easily trackable ERC20 version of wrapped Monero.
All right, that's a pretty trick solution, but yeah. Let's leave it at that. We do have quite a few more comments and other things to get to. Let's see here. We got, just going to shout out a couple of people who showed up a little earlier, such as Tech Engine and Bird, and I think loves the show. A few people mentioned T-Dub says he got in late. Then the YouTube notification got out a little late to some people, but hey, at least you are getting the notification. You haven't missed too much, and if you did miss a little bit, we're gonna have timestamps soon after the show, so you can quickly review your favorite coins. Crypto Caveman came in here with a few requests, no problem. We'll take a look at those shortly. FOREX Meister, aka Burgermeister, says he's in the Twitch and the bot is working. Yes, thank you very much, FOREX Meister.
Thank you so much for looking at that for us, Burger.
I promised you yesterday in the Discord, Mr. Meister, that I will be adding the bot activation to my regular workflow, so I'm making sure I don't screw that up, but thank you for keeping me honest. Let's see here. All right, big shout outs from HOF Daily. Yes, big shout outs to you. Okay, good. Let's get into the next request because we have quite a few starting to pile up in here. Here we go. First one is going to be from Alice Kim. Shout outs to Alice in the live chat. They write, GRT please. Graph.
Oh, graph token. Let's do it.
There.
I was looking at graph token earlier. That's right. Let's use the one on Coinbase because that's probably
where I bought it.
Yeah, where people are getting the most graph exposure.
How's she doing today?
I think that looks a little rough.
A little price absorption for now. Yeah, get a little sell off.
Yeah, just dump right up into resistance, kind of come back down. I need more data. Not that there's much data over here either, but
yeah, it's like as soon as it came, it was pretty quick that it came out on ChartX and then Coinbase. Is that another scam wick on?
Yeah, it's the giant wick. Someone, I was looking at this earlier.
Same thing happened to 1inch. 1inch went to $120 today.
Yeah, I think someone fat fingered it.
Yeah, someone's doing something wrong.
Epic
So-
fat finger if I've ever seen
So
one.
when you say fat finger, does that mean they probably got screwed on that position?
Yes, they probably got wrecked.
Yeah, they bought so much GRT that they bought it at an incredibly, insanely high price, and then initially went back to its normal price.
Well, I mean, you can see how much it had in today's volume. There's been a
Yeah.
million.
Well, and that part of the problem is that Uniswap does not have books in the same way that a normal exchange does.
Yeah, there's no sitting limits and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
I feel like there's not much for us to do on GRT right now. We're kind of at this support level, but when we also look at it from this angle, it feels like we're at resistance. I would much rather buy it if we close back over 38 cents than buy it down here and risk going down to 24 cents.
Yeah, then riding it.
Yeah. So I would just wait for a new high to be made right here over 37 cents, and then if we do make a new high on the daily, I would buy into that really strongly, because you could probably take that up to maybe at least 47, 50 cents, like this area right here, this area of support resistance, or perhaps even up to 54 cents,
Or perhaps maybe $100.
yes, or $100.
This will be the next TikTok coin. Let's take Graph to the moon. $1.
Graph could hit $1 eventually. I mean, this is not too far off from $1.
Oh yeah. What's she at? 36.
Mm-hmm.
That's not crazy in crypto at all. That's a Tuesday.
So yeah, right now it's not really bearish or bullish. We're just kind of hanging around the lows. I could see an argument for being made that you're just you're picking it up back near the low that it retested, and then it continues onwards. But we don't necessarily have a sign that that's what's happening yet.
Yeah, very little data.
Yeah.
All right, Alice Kim, that's GRT. Keep your eyes on the graph, guys. Might be an opportunity to average in for the long-term believers in the graph. Certainly a project with a lot of promise. But let's move next one. Here's another. Speaking of projects with a lot of promise, how about this one? BFlow asks us to take a look at DOGE USDT. Can we take it to $1? Please tell me we can take it to $1, says BFlow. All in on the doggy coin.
Well, Bitcoin pairing looks pretty rough here. Let's look at the USDT pairing.
Doggy coin looking rough.
This guy.
That's the only time I'll say doggy coin. It's Doge.
Well, I think I was telling you guys before that you should wait to pick it back up in this area, and I would still suggest that. It does look rough. $12-hour bearish divergence. Yeah, right now I would just wait on Doge until you can get a better price on it, because it looks like it wants to pull back more, which makes sense. I mean, we did just put in like 150% here. This is a nice little movement, so I think a pullback is to be expected. I would wait. What's next?
All right, thank you to BFlow for the Doge. Let's hop into the next one. So we got 3 people requesting this particular one, and that's going to be THETA, BFlow, and Profit Bear, asking for CRO USDT. Profit Bear in particular says
You
he's all
poor
in.
bastards. Okay.
Profit Bear says he's all in on CRO right now, so rest in peace.
Doesn't look terrible. I will say that I'm not super happy with this wick right here. We may get a pullback now that we're at resistance to come back down and retest this area right around 7 cents. We don't currently have a break of the trend. I think the best thing you can do is just sit on your hands. If we do break down here, I would exit to just get back in on a retest of this point of control, which I think would be relatively healthy and normal. Yeah, I think that's the best thing to do. Is that if you're already all in, there's not much to do right now. Just keep your eyes on this trend right here, and if it breaks, if we close below it, then I would look for to get back in on a retest of this area. But I would kind of layer them into this area, because maybe we just retest the highs right here, but we could come all the way down and retest the point of control, or maybe even the lows. That being said, it's a brand new weekly signal, so a little bit sideways before we continue upwards. I think that would be normal. I would still be looking to take it to like 10 or 11 cents before I abandon the position. Okay.
All right. Well, that's solid and well-reasoned advice from Alex, lead analyst over here right now at Kraken Crypto. Thank you to THETA, BFlow, and Prophet Bear for the CRO request. Let's move into the next one. This one comes from Bird in the live chat. Bird is requesting QLC. Let's take a look at QLC.
QLC it is. Home Shopping Network. Ew.
Ick. Get out of here, QLC.
Yeah.
I don't want none of your garbage. This
looks like an exit pump right here. You see there's one pump up to retest the local point of control, and then we just sold right back down.
This is a ShamWow commercial.
Yeah. This chart is much more sham than wow.
Nice. See what we did there? We bantered.
we did the bantering. Yeah, this looks really bad. This hasn't had much of an alt season here. I'm gonna assume you're stuck in this. I think it looks like it wants to break down more. I don't see much to recommend this to us at this time.
Bitcoin beginning to break that parabolic trend on the 4-hour.
Oh man, we're back below 40,000.
Yep. Just beginning to break it. Now we just gotta get a close below.
Yeah, Rick G in the live chat says QLC was pumped and dumped. Yep.
Yeah. I'm sorry, person in QLC. Get out, buddy. Call's coming from inside the house.
Yeah, take your lickings now, because you're not gonna like it when you have nothing left.
Get out.
Get out of here.
Get
out
to
of QLC.
Get to the dollar.
Get to the dollar. That's true right now, man. Like that's what the charts are saying. Get to the dollar. Uncle, what are you doing?
All right, next
Dixie's
one.
Dixie's still rising, guys.
Dixie's still going. Bitcoin's still slipping.
Yeah.
All right.
Wasn't it the Dixie Chicks that changed their name just to the Chicks or something like that? It was just
I
Dixie?
think I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, because of they didn't want to be known as like women or something. I'm not even sure.
It was Lady Antebellum. Lady Antebellum changed her name to Lady A, but then there was a black artist named Lady A, and she was pretty upset that her name was being stolen by this band, who was previously a very Anyway, it's the thing.
I'm pretty sure the Dixie Chicks changed their name too.
They might well have, yeah. What's next?
Moving along. Let's see here. We have.
Oh, they're simply known as the Chicks now.
Here we go. This one.
I don't know why Dixie's racist.
This one also comes
man.
from Bird.
They're just known as Chicks, man.
This one also comes from Bird. What is your view about NEO USDT? Last bull run, a late bloomer, but NEO 3.0 is coming up. Just in general, a decent token to hold, says Bird. We can take a look at the chart. The fundamentals we can't comment too much on because I don't think any one of us in here is following the NEO project super closely.
Nope. I just trade. I look at charts.
This looks like a strong weekly to me. As you can see, we have a retest of the previous swing high here. We tested twice, and then we come up off those bottoms. We have a break of the downtrend as shown here. This looks good to me for continuation on the weekly here for NEO. As far as the Bitcoin pairing itself, we'll have to zoom in.
Enhance.
Yeah.
I think you still got a
We
little
do
bit
have
more
a break of the parabolic downtrend here. So this is sort of like the reverse of what we were looking at earlier. So you can see the downtrend here, and then the downtrend goes parabolic and is broken. I think NEO could be one of the coins that appreciates a little bit against Bitcoin if alts have an alt season here. I want to make that caveat. If the entire alt market drops, then anything positive I have to say about alts is just out the window. Okay, guys? I hope that's obvious. But as far as alts go, I think I like NEO here because of this break of the downtrend and because of the way the USDT pair looks on the weekly. It looks ripe for a continuation. What's next?
All right, ripe for continuation on NEO USDT. You heard it here, folks. Let's move into the next one. David Windle in the live chat says Bitcoin is slipping. No, boys, in my opinion, a retest of the 40K is a bullish thing as long as it bounces and goes higher. Well, yeah, seeing that we're at 40,260.
The last part of that was the important part. As long as it bounces and goes higher.
Indeed. Well, currently seem to be experiencing a bit of a bounce, but let's have our fingers crossed. Yep. Yeah. Indeed.
In my opinion, this will be a very important hourly candle because it literally closed right on that parabolic trend. We're getting a little bit of an little uptick in price here, but if you look at that hourly candle, it's still a completely shaven candle, and that's not the norm. I mean, it's not very common for a candle to be completely shaven. So that tells me that this upside might get sold into pretty hard here. So we definitely have to wait for that hourly close. But this is what we're talking about and getting more evidence that this trend is beginning to break. We're just kind of watching it close here because especially going into the weekend, there's probably going to be a lot of profit taking, as Alex brought up. Pretty much the majority of everyone who's in Bitcoin right now is in profit. There's just a very small people that were long in 42,000 that are probably down. So,
yep.
All right, let's move into the next request on my list here. All right, this is a 2-pack. It comes from Tony as well as Skokie Cat. Can you check out Band, please? Great work on the stream, by the way.
Band is a great one. Band was taken off earlier today. Let's take a look at it. I think the daily is what's most important here. You guys will see what I was talking about. So, Band has a break of resistance, retests yesterday, retests again this morning, and then takes off. I think Band is good for a continuation right here. I don't know that we won't retest down a little more towards $9, but I think you can kiss $8 goodbye. This is retested. It's done. I would be looking to take Band up towards these highs. You know, $12, $14. I think that's easy. I think we'll definitely get there. We're right in the middle of a low volume node right now,
which usually gets sliced right through.
Yeah. So I imagine Band will probably keep going here. And that's what all signs point to. We're above this previous trading range, break above it, kind of retest it, keep moving upwards here. So let's look at the Bitcoin pairing. Hasn't even really begun to take off yet. And if it does take off, the next real resistance level that I'd be looking for above us right here is a good 150% on Band.
Bands make him dance.
Yep. So I think Band has some real potential here. This is one of the coins where, like I said, I do not want to commit myself to an alt season when the dollar is reversing, but if we have one, this looks really good. What's next? All right, what was the other one she had?
I meant to actually say that it was two people both asking for Band, Tony and Skokie Cat. So, okay. Yes, Band has been covered. Band USDT looking pretty good right now. Let's see here. We got another one. Actually, before I get into that one, I have to shout out one of our channel supporters that came through the chat a little late, and that's of course Philly Carr, the man from Manchester Mint United. And I see that he's recently gained the channel supporter status, so I just want to thank him for supporting our YouTube channel.
He's a supporter, remember?
He's a supreme supporter.
Indeed, he seems to have juiced his status to max.
He did write something interesting here that we should probably check out. He said, I got out of Palladium at 1,444.25 at 4:23 p.m. Check the 1 minute chart just after, but for the grace of God, I didn't blow out my account.
Take a look at Palladium. Yeah, what happened there?
It's off the cliff today.
It sounds like he dodged a bullet here, Neo.
What time?
4:23 or 14:23.
14:23 UTC. Okay. So we got out right around here, which is awesome because a few hours later, as you can see, just totally off the cliff here on Palladium.
Yeah, that is a nice.
Oh no, our platinum long. Are we in a platinum? I think we're in a platinum long.
Not anymore.
I think I longed here. Guys.
Rest in peace. F in the chat for Alex's platinum bags.
Double check. Did I? You know what? I did not open the platinum long after all. I
delete my app.
I just opened up a BCO long, which is up. Oh my goodness. You know what? Let's finish up the chart request, and then we'll look at forex and CFDs.
Sounds good. Let's do it. I only got a few left in the buffer, so.
ENJ from Vadoosh.
Ooh, okay.
We are currently in an ENJ long. It's the only pair that didn't get stopped out at break even yesterday during that Bitcoin dump. So thank God for that, right?
Quite a day on ENJ. Let's look at the Bitcoin pairing.
Yeah, currently on my trading journal, we are up. Looks like 56. Oh, that's not even right. Because this is behind because the equity numbers.
So here is what I've been talking about, folks. So you see, we broke the downtrend, then we kind of trade sideways. We even put in what looks like a scary low, and then boom, right off of that bottom. That's what I am thinking may happen for things like banned Bitcoin and some of the other Bitcoin pairings that we looked at that had traded sideways outside of this downtrend to sort of retest the bottom and then just right off of it.
That is evidence that you're having a trend reversal.
Yeah.
When you start liskling lazily to the right out of a trend.
Mm-hmm. You can think of a trend as price was falling at a greater than or equal to rate as this slope. All during this time, price is falling at a greater than or equal to rate as this slope. And then starting on January 4th, price stops falling at that rate. The rate is different. It's a literal change in trend. It's a change in the trend of the price as we trade sideways out of this. So, these lines I draw on the charts, it's not like the lines are controlling the charts. The lines are sort of like a visual identifier for me to see places where the trend in price is changing.
Could you imagine if your trend lines could actually keep price where you wanted it?
I know.
That would be incredible. Yeah. I wouldn't be here, I'm telling you, folks.
Mm-hmm. What's next on our list? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
no worries.
I guess I didn't really say. I think ENJ is good for continuation here. As far as right now, we're kind of at resistance. If you took profit here, I think it would make sense.
Yep.
And I think a pullback on ENJ would be relatively healthy. Just kind of pull back, come back down to 17 cents.
Well, that's the nice thing right now because we have 20% left on ENJ just riding with the stop loss. I just kept it at break even for now just because we're currently up 50% from entry. So we can just let that bad boy ride.
What's next?
All right. David Windle in the live chat is speaking to AM, the gentleman who was saying If we don't get a hard bounce here, it's over. AM,
It's
he
not
says,
over.
I know. I'm paraphrasing here, but David Wendell pushes back. He says, I get what you're saying. I think we could see a retrace for sure, but this is looking like a bounce, and I'm waiting for the close. In my opinion, Bitcoin will be at 100 to 200,000 in a few months, and then top.
Not in a few months.
I want to be wrong on the USD reversing because I am balls deep in alts. I definitely want to see alt season happen. I'm not trying to talk down on alt season. Definitely.
Yep.
But I mean, we gotta be prepared. We gotta keep our eyes on things.
I could see some retracements.
Just remember what I said about that shaven wick, because like if this hourly does blow up through, I agree, it's probably going to continue up. But if it doesn't, I think we have a lot of sideways here. If not maybe some sinister wicks to the downside that might get bought back up, but still.
And of course, sideways Bitcoin, as we've said before, is good for alts.
Yep. So, I mean, that would play nicely into Alex's position, some of the positions I have. So.
Indeed. Well, I'm calling it here, guys. We're going all the way to 100K. All right, I'm mega bullish. I'm perma bullish. And
Jack ain't giving up till 100K.
I'm not calling the top till we hit at least 100K. So, if anybody wants to ride, we ride today, boys. So. Come ride with your boy. We're going 100K. All right, next request. Here we go. Only got a few more left, which is good. Give Alex some breathing room to get into some of the other markets like commodities and others that we want to look into. Here we go. This next one comes from... Oh, I did Phillies already. This one I have to save for a little later. Okay, so this one comes from Bruno Martins in the live chat. Can you take a look at XLM? It's a good opportunity to buy now, don't you think?
We mean it's a good opportunity to buy now after it pumped 150%.
I was gonna say,
I don't necessarily think that, but let's take a look at the chart.
He wants to board the rocket, so give him an entry in the launch pad somewhere.
One could say that's the 3-bar play. And that could be a bullish pennant for me.
I would just watch this.
Yeah.
I would watch this trend line right now. If we break it upwards, I would definitely take that long. I imagine we'll probably retest the highs here. That's a good 30% move right there. Just from here to here. Yeah. So for now, I wouldn't want to take it for a swing long necessarily in this position, because we're essentially hanging out at resistance, and as we know, we don't long resistance. If we get a good reaction off of this level right here rather than closing below it, then that would be a really great sign. In that case, we're kind of treating resistance as support. We break above it, kind of try and break below it, can't continue upwards. But like I said, for now, I'm kind of not interested in it unless we break up here. Then it's good. Then I would long it at least to retest the top. And then if we broke lower, I would probably try and pick it back up right around in this area near 20 cents. As you can see, price likes this area. And it'll be a nice retest of the previous swing high. Okay, I hope that sufficiently covers XLM for you.
Yep, Bruno, thank you so much for XLM. Might want to pace yourself on the XLM FOMO, but let us know which way you decide to go.
So on the Bitcoin pairing, we can keep pulling back here on the Bitcoin pairing. We just hit resistance and bounced off of it. So coming back down and retesting support here would be totally normal.
All right, got a couple comments here I want to highlight in the live chat, just came through. First one's from Bflow. I don't know if you guys remember the Discord. I said that I took a long from 37,573. Price kept falling. I then called Michael Saylor and told him to buy it back up. Next thing I know, all-time highs. Do you need me to make the call again?
Yeah.
Make the call.
Please make the call just so this is funny.
Bflow, pick up the bat phone, call Sailor, call whatever whales you know, tell them to pump the price, baby. We're going up. Although we might need to poll the audience, see how many people are trapped in the short, how many people shorted the 40K top. how many people are long and need Sailor and B-Flow to make the call and pump. Do let us know which way you want to see this go. Hopefully not too many here shorting tops, but let's take a quick look. Next one is just a quick comment from Arnaud M. He says, what's up, guys? Just joined the live chat. All right, Arnaud, nice to see you here. All right. All right, I'll highlight these other ones later. Let's get into the next request. There's only a couple left now. Next one comes from Crypto Caveman. Link USD on the daily, please, says Crypto Caveman, who's also a channel supporter. So thank you for supporting us, as always, Crypto Caveman.
You know, Link is in a different spot than Band is, because Link is at the resistance that we were talking about Band heading to.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing for us to do with Link on the daily right here. At the end of today, we'll probably be getting a cross under. So I'll take out our baseline. I know we're above it. Yeah, there's just nothing for us to do with Link on the daily right now. Link still looks kind of rough here on the Bitcoin pairing. We still don't have a weekly buy signal. We could drop just a little bit more, or maybe just retest the lows and come down to this point of control here on the Bitcoin pairing, which we haven't done yet.
Yeah, that is quite oversold as well.
Yeah. But this is an area most likely to be buying Link in. It's because it's very heavily oversold here against Bitcoin, and will most likely alleviate that oversold status within the next few weeks. But, I mean, presumably you're trying to time your entry and get a good entry, and it just does not look yet like this is the spot. If we turn back up here, then that's great. I would totally take that, especially if we put in like a swing failure pattern where we, where's my drawing tool? There we go. Kind of something like this, where we got a low here, a lower low, and then maybe if we put in a higher low right here, then I definitely want to take that. But that's a big if. That hasn't happened yet. So all we can really do is keep our eyes on Link Bitcoin. But Link USDT is telling us to not do anything because of the sell signal and resistance anyway. So both things saying don't touch Link right now. Wait for more confirmation of reversal.
All right, excellent analysis. Hang tight on the Link, says Alex. Thank you to Crypto Caveman for the Link request. Here we go. We got one more coming up. This one's from, we did ENJ, I'm pretty sure, a couple minutes ago for Vidoosh. So I'm just going to cross this one out. This next one is from Daniel with the Ferrari avatar. Daniel asks, hi guys, have you looked at MTL BTC yet? Nope, certainly haven't.
I can't remember the last time I looked at metal. Let's check it out. USD pairing looks very interesting here. We've made a new high. This looks ripe for reversal. I might even put this up as a trade at the end of today. Very nice continuation signal. We got yesterday, actually. We got the continuation signal right here.
Again, that looks like the same pattern from DeFi Perp.
Yeah. This is very interesting looking. So we... Resistance.
Triple top.
Break above resistance right here. Very good looking. Weekly is...
Looks like the bat signal.
Guess we'll have to turn off the baseline for a second. It's a strong looking weekly, right? You can see the resistance.
Inverse head and shoulders.
Yeah. The resistance is much clearer here on the weekly. And we're above it. We have not closed this week yet.
That's a great.
But I consider this to be a very bullish sign.
Great chart.
Let's look at Bitcoin pairing now, which is what you actually asked after. Yeah. Well, there's just nothing for us to do here with metal yet. We do not have a break of the downtrend. This is probably a fake out right here, but we'll count it. That's the downtrend right here. This works. Okay. This is our daily downtrend. As you can see, we're below it. We don't have a reversal sign. As a matter of fact, this might be a fake out right here. So,
yep.
as of right now, I cannot recommend metal. But if this breaks, if we close above it, then that USD chart is telling us it's a good opportunity.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, and I don't do this very often at all, if I were to see that weekly chart break and close above that, because that's like mostly all of its historical resistance, I would definitely take that BTC pairing if I got a weekly, because with what's going to happen with Bitcoin, we don't really know, but I do believe that would be ripe for reversal if you saw that much evidence on the USDT side.
Yeah, but look at the actual metal Bitcoin pairing. It only makes new lows against Bitcoin. So I gotta say this seems like one of those coins where you'd just be better off never buying it ever.
Never having it ever.
Yeah, there's no point in history where if you bought it, then several months later you were happy.
Yeah, historically.
Several months later you were sad. You were like, oh, new lows. That's how it is. So I think the USDT pairing, the USD pairing on metal looks good, but for right now, there's no signs that it's going to make new highs against Bitcoin, and until we get some sort of sign of that, then no. What's next?
Interesting chart of the day, though.
Yeah.
Indeed, but condolences to the metal bag holders in the audience. Moving along into the next one, got to quickly highlight a little bit of bad news, and it's B-Flow, and he says he couldn't get through to Robert Saylor or Michael Saylor. It went straight to voicemail, and so that option is now off the table.
For some reason, I really thought you had bad news. I'm like, oh, what is he going to say?
I know, but I do have some good news to complement it. Philly Carr from Manchester says he's going to pick up the slack. He's going to make a call to his boys over in the city of London. He's got some shot callers he can tap to hopefully pump the price. Maybe some Saudi sheiks to divert some of their oil money into Bitcoin. So Philly, I expect you to make the call in B-Flow. B-Flow bungled this one for us, so we're gonna have to tap Philly to do the heavy lifting.
Philly's like, sir, do you know how many schnauzers I own? Get on it.
Well, right away, sir.
Yeah,
right.
I will send you pictures of happy prancing puppies if you just do this thing for me.
If you just spend billions of dollars.
All right, but in all seriousness, let's get into the last couple requests that are come through, and this one's from A. Michael, DCR USDT, please.
I think they're mini dachshunds. I don't think they're schnauzers. Now that I'm thinking a bit more about Philly's dogs, I think they're dogs. Let me correct myself on that.
They are dogs.
They're definitely dogs.
He's like, I got cats, man.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you, Jack.
No worries. This one comes from Michael in the live chat. He's asking for Decred USDT, please. DCR.
DCR again.
I think that, if I remember correctly, that was interesting on my daily scan yesterday.
This is interesting. You know what this makes me think of? This makes me think of an accumulation pattern, because this looks like a spring right here.
Yeah.
I will show you guys what I mean, but I think this looks good. I think this, for that reason, because this looks like an accumulation pattern, I think...
Like coffee in spring.
Yep. So this is what I'm really... Okay. Sort of the spring and the test.
Yep, that's why you're seeing that price absorption from those wicks, and you're seeing it from both sides.
Mm-hmm. So, there's a lot of buying going on, and we see big wicks up, but every time someone tries to sell it down, it just gets absorbed.
Yep.
I think overall, this is pretty bullish right here, especially how it just gets attached to the point of control in this spot. This is a big entity filling some bags right here, I would think. DCR, USDT, let's see if there's any signs here. Oh. Well, DCR USDT looks really good, with the exception that I think we may need to pull back here.
Yeah, that looks very strong.
Yeah.
That's 3 continuations in a row on the daily.
Let me turn back on my log chart. There we go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I think it'll probably come back down to around $46 or so. Maybe,
That's 1, 2. 8 dots of death right now. 8 purple dots.
Yeah, definitely a pullback on DCR here. But the Bitcoin pairing looks good. It looks like it could trade sideways against Bitcoin for much longer here, as that DCR Bitcoin accumulation pattern completes. But I would say it looks like DCR has found its bottom against Bitcoin for now. Let's look at the weekly. I don't think I looked at the weekly on this, but no, I did. Yeah. Okay, that's why. Yeah, however you want to look at it, whether log or linear, we've broken the downtrend here. So good stuff. What's next?
All right, thank you for the Decred request. I am happy to report that when we first launched the stream this morning, we had 5 or 6 dislikes already stacked up. We're actually down to just 1 dislike, so apparently, you know, our analysts are doing something right.
People happy for once.
Yeah, you know,
people. We're down to 0. We won them over.
What? Okay, whoever's watching,
You really like us.
Yeah, someone's actively just mad at us. Like, all right, you won me over. I just love that they're still listening.
They're still listening for sure.
We got them.
Well done, boys.
They're the kind of person who starts out not liking something, and you have to get them to the point where they're neutral about it.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, that's how I've made all my best friends. No one's ever liked me the first time they met me.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
It's true. We all dislike Jason.
Oh, damn it. We got a dislike again.
Yeah, he wins you over.
4 of them now. Now they're playing
3 of
with
them.
us.
Now they're I'll bring it on, boys. I can take it. I can handle more.
No. Don't egg these guys on. We were doing good there. All right, let's get into the next analysis because we're never being toyed with super hardcore. I'm not going to look at the thumbs up or down anymore. Here we go. Next one. This is one of the final ones. This is Elastos for RNOD ELA USDT.
I feel like we looked at this yesterday. Oh, but we have put in a decent day since yesterday. Yesterday we had this red day and it was very questionable. We still have not broken this downtrend. We have not broken the more parabolic downtrend either, but we certainly look like we are about to. This is basically the swing failure pattern that I'm looking at, right? This is what I was talking about. We got a low, lower low, and then a higher low here, but we do not have the break of the prevailing downtrend.
As of yet.
And I think the dollar pairing looks good and strong here. I would imagine we're probably going to get a continuation. We definitely have a we had a buy signal.
This looks like it's about to go for it now, huh?
Yeah, we got our buy signal right here. So we're actually not too far behind. It would have been nicer to buy, back towards here. Yeah, I think Elastos could go for it here. I think it looks really good.
All right, you heard it here first, folks. Elastos to the moon.
Basically, no matter how we finish off this weekly candle, it's going to be a positive bullish weekly candle. We would have to close we'd have to close back below $1.50.
Yeah. Quite the sell-off. But important to wait till close.
Well, I'm glad we looked at Elastos again because it does look good here.
The difference a day can make.
For sure.
All right, that is it for the request. I got, I think, 2 questions here to cover, and let me take a quick look. I see in the live chat Philly Cars correcting Alex on his pronunciation of the Dachshund. I don't know, how do we call it? What's the English pronunciation? How do we call these things?
I'm pretty sure Americans call them dachshunds.
Dachshunds, yeah.
But Philly is not American, so.
I know. I don't know. I did a bit of a French.
I want to show you my Dachshund. Get out of here, weirdo.
Alright, actually, GB Wally just came in. He showed up a little late. He says I'm behind and catching up on the stream. So, alright. In that case, let's give Professor Wally one of the last requests of the day. And then I have 2 questions here I need to answer. And then we will let Alex cover some of the markets freestyle. This one is from Wally, like I said, and it's TFUEL, BTC, and THETA. He's asking for TFUEL, huh?
Okay. THETA and TFUEL.
I haven't heard THETA requested in a little while.
I haven't heard of TFUEL in like forever.
That looks a little toppy.
Yeah. THETA's parabolic trend is broken. This still needs to pull back more, I think. I think I might want to see THETA pull all the way back to $1.
TFUEL is a THETA token. Gotcha.
Yeah, it is.
It's the reward token.
It's
Gotcha.
THETA fuel.
THETA fuel. That all makes sense now.
Same story here. Yeah, we're gonna be pulling back here on TFUEL, I think.
Man, what a chart though.
Yeah, it is. Maybe a retest of 17 cents here, or 1.7 cents. Yeah, that's what I would look for. Right now, the weekly trend is a little exhausted. I look for a pullback towards, 17, 18 cents. That's really all I have to say about it. What's next?
All right, little clarification on the doggies from Philip Carr. Wiener dogs in America is what we call them. Do we really call them wiener dogs? I guess.
Oh, it's a Dotson.
Yeah.
A Dotson. A Dotson. Yeah, Dotson is a wiener dog.
Gotcha.
Well, I'm pretty sure you're definitely saying it wrong. It's not a Dotson.
That's literally how I say it. I didn't never see the spelling, but my lady's mom has a Dotson.
Yes.
Okay. Well, there's no T in there.
Yes. But it's weird. It's a weird word.
It sounds like one.
We don't we have weird ways of pronouncing it here in North America. But he does clarify it's German for a badger. They hunt badgers, so they named the
German for annoying.
In German, they named the badger hunter just Badger, so it's a little confusing. But now I know it's a German word, so I got to give it the German pronunciation. Dachshund. No, that's just nope. I don't have a German thing. I'm sorry, guys. But
sounds like Dachshund. Yeah, that's what she said. Sounds like Dachshund.
Sounds like Dachshund. Dachshund. Yeah.
Wait, you guys have to pronounce the Japanese ran. It's crazy.
Wait, what?
However you say it, I can't speak it. Promise everyone that.
Chinese ran. I screwed it up.
Dachshund. Yes. All right, thank you. I clearly have no grasp of the German language, but thank you so much to people clearing the time. Alright, here we go. This one is done. Thank you to GB Wally for THETA. Crypto Bull pointing out in the live chat that he's got GB Wally covered. He's going to have timestamps available shortly after the show. So yes, just refresh the show. Probably within 5-10 minutes of the show wrapped up, we will have timestamps in the description and comments below. If you missed anything, do reference that material. Okay, so we've done all the requests for today. Thank you very much to everybody who contributed. All right, so we had one request here from T-Dub, silver and gold. So I'm going to let Alex get into that slowly when he does look at commodities and major mainstream markets. And there's another question here from Crypto Caveman. CC team, can you go over some long-term holds you have, and what project would you call blue chips of 2021? I like SNX, Link, Uni, Band, Aave, and maybe some others in my opinion, and these are some of my alts.
That's going to have to be another day, man.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, that's like a 2-hour long conversation. We can't do that today.
Indeed, it's very hard to dive into what are like the
I'm
top.
sure Jack would like to weigh in on those as well.
No. It is way too much to open up at once. I did want to make sure he didn't feel neglected and at least throw it out there. But I'm a believer that everything on the top 20, top 50 is there for a reason. These are already established quality projects. So if SNX, Link, Aave, Uni probably rank somewhere on the top 50. Then it kind of confirms that. Otherwise, it's
my advice would be to open up a list of top DeFi projects, pick the top 20, and do some research on them and find out what you think is the most interesting.
That's the important part.
Something where you will have enough belief in it that you can hold it for the long term, because the death of investing is selling super early because you don't believe in a project, and then you lose money because you sold while it was down instead of making money on the long term because you did a bunch of research and then had conviction.
Yep. It's the same premise of trading, to be honest with you. The whole reason of building a system and everything is so you have conviction behind that. You don't know that every single signal is going to hit, but you do know that statistically you've proven it to yourself, and it gives you that conviction. It's the same thing with learning about a project. When it goes down, you're like, well, I know all this, and I do believe in that's coming. It gives you more conviction than just losing your money, because that's where people get too attached, is when they're just looking at their account value, not what they're actually investing in.
Yeah. And conviction also comes from knowing the project will at least be popular in some sense. Like, for Bitcoin, like, I do not know what the price is going to be next year, but I know over the next couple of years the price is going to be higher, whatever it is. Like, that's conviction. You're like, okay, well, I can brave this I can brave being underwater on this, because I know I'm not going to always be underwater. If you think you're always going to be underwater,
why would you hold it?
Well, I know there's lots of people here who have held alts down into the depths.
Mm-hmm.
My advice is just keep track of the larger market, and when the market is turning, that's when you don't hold any alts at all.
Indeed. But yes, this is certainly a topic that we could have an hour-long video dedicated to itself. But I think we've said enough for now. But thank you for the request. And all right, this is it. Just have gold and silver remaining. Maybe if you want to explore traditional markets, Alex, you can touch on both gold and silver today. Otherwise, just take us through maybe whatever you're looking at in Forex or anything at all that you want to show us. But that's it for requests, guys. We got 20 minutes left in the show, so we've covered quite a bit. Let Alex kind of freestyle the remaining 10-20 minutes.
Sure. As per usual, guys, the dollar rising means everything else dropped. So we saw this happen over here a couple times. For those of you who are watching the show, the dollar's up today. Everything else is red, because the dollar is the major trading pair against
world reserve currency.
Yeah, not just Bitcoin. So the broader market, Dow Jones down today, although it did gap up on opening, but then it just started trading down as the dollar traded up. Same story with the NASDAQ gapping up, but then we kind of traded sideways today. We did trade down and gap close, but I will say, you would think with a bullish gap up like this, we would have a bit more momentum than a sideways day. We are still below the trend resistance that we've been looking at on the QQQ, although we're still technically in the pattern. We're not above it, we're not below it, we're just kind of in it. We can bring back the daily baseline. That's something that would be helpful here. We do not have a long signal on the QQQ. We don't have enough momentum.
Might be a good thing.
Yeah, it might be a good thing in this spot. But I mean, that's sort of what the indicators are there for, to keep out of stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But if I recall correctly, we should have a long on the SPY, actually. Yeah, so we are above resistance on the SPY. We do have a long signal at the end today. We're going to be below the qualifying line. We're above the baseline. Our oscillator's above zero and crossed up. This is actually a really bullish cross above zero. And then, of course, on our WADA here, which is our momentum and volatility indicator. Momentum's enough and volatility's rising. So I'll probably put up a SPY long at the end today. I don't know if it's a good idea or not, but we're going to keep taking these long signals until the market puts in a true reversal, and then we'll start taking short signals. That's one of the great things about trading the markets, that you can make money off both directions. You just have to kind of figure out which direction it's going to be going.
Should be an interesting last hour.
And really, if you think about it, the markets have just traded sideways this whole time. That's why we haven't really done much with them in the past couple months. But this could be a long signal right here, which is interesting because
the Dixie,
the dollar, because of the Dixie, the dollar should be put in the kibosh on this. So we will see what happens.
Yeah, that's why we were talking before. Like, this Friday is just going to be one of those cliffhanger type Fridays where, like, now it looks like you have a long on the SPY, but you also have a long on the Dixie. Like, which one do you pick?
Commodities really had a bad day. I would say it looks to me like gold got a weekly rejection. I would be looking for a place to short gold still. We will not be able to do it at the end of today. Our oscillator is just not there. This is too fast of a movement. Silver, even worse day, but not as bad looking as gold, because gold is back back underneath the previous resistance, and silver is still above it at least. But this weekly right here, this feels like just a nail in the coffin. So we break below the weekly baseline, trade back up towards it, and then wick up into it several times.
To be honest with you, that looks like the beginning of Bart Simpson. Like, to where you get a big sell-off there, and it looks like the top of his head.
I see what you mean. I really think I want to take ZAG down to $20. You see some nice volume right here, and we're just untested after we broke above it. I think silver to 20.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't like to be in the middle.
Yeah.
It's all or nothing for silver.
And then Palladium, as Philly pointed out, this was quite a big fuck you day. I mean, can you imagine 3% move on Palladium is not nothing. These are
precious metal.
Yeah, these are not very volatile precious metals. The positive thing is that we're still above the point of control right here. This could be a simple retest and continuation, but
certainly wicked off it.
Yeah, but closing back below the weekly baseline as we are right here leads me to believe we may end up retesting, $2,000, $1,900 ish area on Palladium. BCO. Big day today, big week, and big day today as well. This is doing really well because of some fundamentally bullish news. OPEC announced that they are going to reduce their output, which means supply will be lower, which means because the markets are future oriented, the price will be higher in the future. So the price is higher now because people are bidding it up. So as you can see, Brent crude long is working out. Corn hanging out at resistance, it appears. I wouldn't do anything with it at this point. Same with natural gas, nothing to do with it.
Soybeans,
take us out again, still going. I exited it yesterday. I was like, okay, well, we'll just, we'll have to get in on a continuation signal, which will not be today. It may be tomorrow.
No, Monday.
You're right. Very true. We put a long out on the Singapore. Oh, looks like that's good. As you can see, we got a long signal right here.
Oh.
We've got enough momentum. Our volatility is rising. We're above zero. And we're above the baseline right here. That's our long signal.
That's clockwork, baby.
Yep. Just like clockwork. I am really hoping that the Singapore 30 here kind of catches up to the China A50, which has been just parabolic. Their economy, has been parabolic this week.
Is that all-time highs for the A50?
Yes, this is all-time.
Yeah, I was gonna say they just keep making new all-time highs.
Yeah, yesterday was an all-time high. Today we got a pullback. Well, we'll probably exit here. We got an exit signal, but I wouldn't be surprised if we ended up just continuing onwards.
Going sideways for a little bit,
Yep.
and then going.
This is our daily trend, so we can we've got a little bit of space.
That
Well,
looks like a signal.
interestingly enough, while we've got a little bit of a pullback today on some of these all look good for continuation. The Singapore, Netherlands here. This is we missed it. There's no long signal here. We're above the qualifying line and stuff now, but this looks good for a continuation. Japan 225. This looks good for continuation. This is not a long signal, but it would have been if we had a little bit more momentum yesterday. This is strong. India 50, new highs today. Hong Kong, new highs today. France 40, new highs today. So
that looks like a long.
Yeah. So yeah, there will be a long at the end of today.
Yeah.
It's not a bad spot.
Put it on my tab.
Yep. I'm not entirely sure how foreign economies react to the dollar rising or falling. Is the dollar rising good for the European economies? Is it bad for them? I'm a little bit shaky on that. So I don't know if this is good for our theory of the dollar rising being bad for various markets or not. I'm not really sure how it plays in. I'd have to look into it a little bit more. But these all look strong. They all look good for continuation, especially the emerging markets like India and Singapore. Is Singapore an emerging market? I think it would count as an emerging market, right? It's
I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. I'm not sure if I would call it that. It seems like a pretty I think it is like that finance capital of Asia next to Hong Kong. I'm not sure if I would call it really an emerging market.
And maybe you're right.
An exotic market.
Well, it just goes to show you, your education is never complete in this field, guys.
Nope. Always learning.
Let's head on over to regular Forex. Rough day for everything except the pound and the dollar. So, interesting potential reversal here on the USD RAND, but I'm not convinced yet. We still need to get above the daily baseline, but we could end up getting a good signal on it. USD yen, we did not quite have a signal yesterday because we were underneath the momentum, or the dead zone here on our momentum, so I didn't call it. But because the dollar is reversing, we could get a good long out of one of these coming up. We're just kind of waiting for everything to catch up. Our oscillators are still all below zero. There's not much for us to do on these. New Zealand dollar potentially pulling back here. We don't have any short signals or anything, so there's nothing for us to do. We're still above the baseline on all these. I'm feeling like NZD CAD could be our best bet for maybe making it under zero here in short. Could get a short signal against the dollar that makes sense. The dollar is going to be strong, but the pound is strong everywhere else except against the dollar. Here it is against the yen, testing its highs, not making a new high. Here it is against the Swissy. No long signal here yet. Still inside of the pattern here against CAD. Nothing to do here against the New Zealand dollar either. We're still below the baseline. Euro, we don't have enough volatility to take the short trade, but this does look, euro against the dollar looks really good here for a short. We just don't have a signal to take it. Euro yen, no signal to take, but this could be a good baseline bounce short. I think we're in a Euro New Zealand dollar short. We just hit take profit 1 this morning. Most likely, we may get stopped out here. This is, you know, where'd all the bearish momentum go? Now we're just kind of hanging around down here. Nothing to do here on Euro Swissy. We did not get our initial long signal until we were already past the qualifying line here. At this point, you can't help but feel like it's just not going to work out. Potential baseline bounce short on the weekly Euro CAD here. Overall, this looks like distribution. Like we could end up coming back down here on the Euro. Same for Euro Pound. Euro Aussie dollar just continues to fall through the floor. This makes sense. Aussie dollar has been strong. Euro has been weak. Swissy JPY, kind of trading sideways. Nothing to do here. This is a long signal. It's a long signal at the end of today on CAD yen. So we'll be below the qualifying line. We're above 0 on our oscillator. Got the momentum and volatility. We could take this at the end of today.
3-bar play.
3-bar play. CAD Swissy finally breaking out against this downtrend. I think this is going to be a good long here. We have a signal here, but we were above the qualifying line, so I didn't take it yesterday. If we can close the day back below it, I'll probably take it. We'll take one of these CAD trades, I think. And nothing really to do here for the Aussie dollar. We're already in this Aussie Kiwi long for the group, so there's nothing for us to do here either. I just gotta say it's about time because we entered last week all the way over here. We're just now back above entry. Got to be patient, guys. That's it. That's Forex. Well, I guess there's also the Aussie yen, which is strong. There's nothing for us to do here. There was a long signal here that we could have taken, but we were already in an Aussie long. So, yeah, we're just sitting on the sides right here. Well, that's it for Forex and the commodities. Let's this last 10 minutes, let's talk to the peeps and wrap them up.
Indeed. All right. Well
Got any
done.
hot news there, Jack?
We kind of covered it at the beginning. I might circle around real quick, but really we've only got 6 minutes or less left in the show, so I might be wrapping it up. But hold on, let's review a few of the comments in the live chat, mostly from Philly. All right, I'm a little late to the British pound comment you made, Philly. Let's see what else we have. Sherwin. Bitcoin will be in use on Mars. Elon Musk is the richest person now in the world. Just his opinion. All right. Well.
Okay.
Yes. Hopefully we will be deploying Bitcoin all the way to Mars. So all my
the real riches was the friends that Elon made along the way.
Right.
Right. But no, I will be counting my space mining mineral profits in Bitcoin in the future. That's no doubt about it. Cash me out. Cash out my rare Mars minerals into Bitcoin, guys. Let's see here. What else do we have? China 50 all-time high. Yes, yes, yes. Call my premium chat line. It's 1-888-222 USDT for global info on markets. Yes, yes, yes. We certainly will. Be sure to call the Philly hotline. He says, but don't bother following his January trades. And hi, what's a good entry on the ticker? KOPN. What's KOPN? I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do any further requests, but my curiosity's peaked a little bit. KOPN on the NASDAQ, and that's KOPN Corporation invents, develops, and manufactures, sells components, subsidiaries, head-worn handheld systems. All right.
They're going to be putting the chip in the vaccine.
All right, man. You probably just got us permanently banned from YouTube.
That's good because you should mention what we're doing next week.
Well, maybe, but let's let Alex take a quick look at KOPN, and let's avoid using any VAX and chip keywords on the stream.
I just don't like this spot. It feels like we're at resistance.
Stuck, yeah.
Yeah, we have all this above us, right? And maybe we break up here and continue on to like, oh, that's actually, oh, this is a log chart. We'll look at linear. Well, that's certainly a long basing period. Let's look at it on the monthly. Jeez. Let's get rid of our baseline. We do not need a 60-month baseline. If we continue onwards, I would look for a pullback towards $2. It's been a relatively strong support level historically. You can see $2 to support here, here, kind of here, broken support here, and then resistance here. So I think a pullback towards $2 would be healthy and normal. Other than that, I feel like there's almost just goes so far back in time here. I think $2 would be a good place to look for a retracement, which is this spot right here. You know, totally normal. Come up, retest the highs, come back down, retest the previous resistance as support, and then continue onwards.
All right, well, Christian Zeladon, I hope you appreciated that last minute analysis we managed to sneak in here. Alex feeling extra generous this Friday as we move to wrap. You know, here we are heading into the weekend. Bitcoin currently at $40,500 as we
Say it again.
40,500.
There you go.
There we go.
When was the last time you got to say Bitcoin was at that?
I know, right? But yeah, I think that's it for today's stream. Now, next week we have a special announcement. We are going to be guest starring on another podcast. So you may not catch us here at our usual channel. We might very well be on guest starring, like I said, guest hosting on another show. You will have to go to Discord to find out all the details. So if you don't see this channel go live on Monday at the usual time, it's probably because, like I said, we've been invited onto another show, and you're going to need to learn all those details by going to discord.krakencryptocurrency.com. It's going to just take a little break, but in the meantime, we will be broadcasting. Yes, like I mentioned, I don't want to go into any further details, but that's all that needs to be said for now. Keep an eye on details to come. Nothing is yet finalized.
There will be a show to watch, but it will not be this show per se.
It may or may not be Joe Rogan, all right, but you will have to stay tuned to our announcements channel. Yes, the three of us may be live in studio with JRE, but that's also not guaranteed. But
that would be so funny.
Yeah, that would be funny. With that said, guys,
you'd actually have to get on screen, Jack.
Longbeard, reminding me that he needs to be sprinkled. Yes, Longbeard, I know you deserve a little sprinkle. I'll DM me on Discord. Maybe we can work something out. I did promise people a sprinkling yesterday. People are convinced I'm now a Bitcoin whale, and it's my duty to to sprinkle some of my giant Bitcoin holdings across the land. You got yours. What do you want?
I did?
Yeah, but I'm just playing. But yes, guys, it's been a great show. Thank you to everybody joining us. Thank you to our analyst Alex and Jason for another awesome week of breaking Bitcoin market updates.
Yeah, thank you, Jack.
It's always my pleasure. And shout outs to everybody in the live chat: Philly, Longbeard, Cheesy, Business H2O, and everybody else. You know who you are. Thank you to the guy doing the timestamping, Crypto Bull. And all right, we'll be in the Discord. Catch us this weekend. We might be doing a Mandalorian marathon in the Discord, so check us out in there. Yeah, I've had a lot of requests for us to do.
Oh, you did the first season, didn't you?
Yeah, people want to see season 2 of Mandalorian. So if you guys want to catch that, join us in the Discord. Probably Saturday evening. Might be marathoning some Mandalorian 2. So might spread it out over 2 days, or we might get it all done on Saturday evening. We will figure something out. But yes, I promise people Mandalorian. Check us out for the Mandalorians. All right, boys. This is it. Moving to wrap. Final words to our boys, and that's it.
Well, from me, I mean, we're still in a bullish trend, guys. I mean, we are seeing evidence here, of course, with all the things that we listed off today. I think this weekend is kind of one of those to kind of sit on the sidelines, keep your hand in your pocket, look for evidence, wait for things to break. You don't try front running things here, because you've seen over the last 3 days, the volatility is insane. So if you pick the wrong direction with even 5x leverage, you're at risk here. So I think it would be best to play it safe, kind of let it choose a direction, because we are going into the weekend. The Dixie's breaking up, the stock market's breaking up, just a bunch of confusing things happening at once. So might be a good time to keep your hands in your pocket.
I agree. Trade safely, guys. Practice risk management, and then that way, I mean, even if you do score trades over the weekend, then you'll make money. And if you happen to lose out on trades, well, you only lose a little bit of money too. So, management, trade safely.
See you next week, guys, on Joe Rogan.
Cheers, all. Much love.
Maybe that'll get us banned.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Spotify, we hate him.
We love Bitcoin. All right, see you guys next week.
everyone.